So I've got this guitar. It's classified as acoustic electric. It's a Glenn Burton model. I really like this guitar. It plays really well, but the electronics on it, they just really are not very good. So in this video, I'm going to be updating the electronics on this guitar. So the reason I want to update the electronics on this guitar is because they really just don't work. They're considered passive electronics. You can see up here you've got a tone and volume control. When I was doing some research on the internet trying to find an electronics package that would work with an acoustic guitar, I found this kit here. It came with electronics, which has bass, mid, treble, presence, and then it's got a mixture here. Now this mixture is a mix between the microphone and a piezoelectric pickup. And it also came with this output jack, which is either XLR or quarter inch, and it's got the battery compartment there. I did purchase separately a pack of new strings, and I've got a string winder here. I do recommend using a string winder for either removing your old strings or putting new strings on your guitar. To start this process, I'm going to remove my old strings that are on the guitar and take out the old electronics. So the next step is I put blue tape on the guitar so that I can mark where the new electronics are going to go. You can see I marked a hole where the old electronics were at on this guitar here. I started out trying to find the place where these electronics fit the best with the curvature of the guitar. Started on the back, and then I had to move it to the front, and now I'm just marking the spots where it fits. And then I'm going to end up transferring those lines all the way across and trying to make sure that I cover up the old hole where the old electronics were at. When you mark it, you want to make sure that you leave enough space for the screws that are going to hold the new electronics in place. And here I am using a tri-square just to make sure that I get the lines across the guitar body as straight as possible in accordance with the face of the guitar. I got the top and bottom. I'm trying to center this up so I can mark the sides of where this electronics package is going to sit. And then also make those lines as straight as possible so that when I cut them out, it'll be nice and smooth. Then I'm doing the same thing for the pickup jack and the battery box on the bottom of the guitar. And then once I've got those marked, I'll put the lines across the guitar as straight as possible so that I can get this in the center. A little misstep there. The guitar tried to slide off the chairs, but I was able to keep it from falling all the way down. Now that I got the top and bottom of this marked, I got to do the same thing and try to figure out how to mark the sides so when I cut this hole out in the center of the guitar. And then try to make it as straight as I can to connect the top and bottom lines and give me a nice little rectangle there. I'm going to start cutting it out using my jigsaw. Trying to be very careful. When I cut this, I'm cutting on the inside of the lines because I can always make the hole a little bit bigger, but I cannot make it smaller. And you can see it didn't quite fit, so I had to mark it again and again and cut out just a little bit more. I'm just going real slow on this step. I'm trying to make it to where these will fit perfectly down in there, and I'm not interfering with the holes to mount them. I'll do the same thing for the electronics cavity. Cutting it out, I started by using the existing hole there and then cutting out towards my lines, and I had to make a couple small adjustments. But once I get this dialed in and get those fit in there, then it's time to pull off the blue tape. After I got the blue tape off, the next thing I'm going to do is replace the old piezo pickup that was underneath the bridge, put the new one in there, and then after I get that new one in place, then we'll go ahead and work on putting the electronics package in, get that all connected up, and then screw it in place with the screws that were provided. Got to be very careful here when doing this. I'm using a small screwdriver and doing it by hand. If you use the drill or something, you could probably strip the screws out. I don't want to do that because it's really thin wood. And then do the same thing for the jack. Of course, the final step is to put on a set of strings, tune it up, and enjoy playing your guitar. When I was doing my research on Amazon,